everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name is Acacia. Today I'm going to be doing my top 5 short story collections, so stick around for that. I have 5 short stories here. 4 are on equal footing, and I adore all of them and love them all, and they're amazing, and they have some of my favorite short stories of all time. And then one of them is a favorite, but it's a favorite for themes and ideas more so than stories themselves. Like, I love the stories, don't get me wrong, I would recommend them highly, but it's not on the same footing as the other 4. Does that make sense? So we're going to start with that one, the one that is not on the same footing. And that is A Tree or a Person or a Wall by Matt Bell. Matt Bell also wrote Scrapper and what is it called? In the House Upon the Dirt Between the Lake and the Woods. I enjoyed all of his books. I've read all of them so far. If he comes out with another one, I will buy it. I did sell his other 2. I liked them, but I didn't love them. In the Dirt Between the Woods... No, In the Dirt Between the Woods and the Lake. I think that's what it's called. It's probably not. That one, I loved when I read it, but upon thinking on it, I didn't adore it. I was kind of left feeling cold and distraught and very dark. Like, I liked it. I did. It didn't give me a good feeling. And then Scrapper was an apocalyptic novel that just didn't live up to the apocalyptic world. This, however, talks about mental health, and it talks about folklore and fairy tales and darkness. It does not talk about mental health in a let's talk about mental health kind of way. It talks about mental health in a let's weave it into folktale kind of thing. So it's really dark and twisted minds that have gone kind of off the rail. It's really wonderful. I really loved it. Yeah, I would definitely... Like, it's magical. It's really magical. I really loved it. I've got a bookmark in there that means I tried to read it again and I forgot. So that should be remedied. Then we have The Doll's Alphabet by Camelia Gravata. This one I was sent by the publishers, Coffee House Press, and also by Mercedes in Mothbox. Do you remember Mothbox? I have a Mothbox. I have the Mothbox bookmark that goes with The Doll's Alphabet. It has a quote from it. "The seeds of the octopus were very slowly saturated into the wooden mermaid." Yeah, I love this book. I love this book. I have a bookmark in it, and I don't know why. Probably because I wanted this bookmark and book to stay together. I felt very strongly about that with all of my Mothbox books. I still have all my Mothbox paper bookmarks. Get off Mothbox. Anyway, this one is really beautiful, really exquisite. It's compared to Angela Carter and Margaret Atwood. I went more for the Carter than the Atwood, but I do enjoy Atwood on some occasions. I figured it would have feminist themes through it and darker themes and more apocalyptic sort of themes than it does. It has that dystopian, dark, twisted, weird vibe, and I just loved it. I would highly recommend this one. This one came out, I think, 2017, and it kind of got lost in the shuffle of everything. I don't know why. It was so beautiful and so wonderful, and so many people should have read it. I would highly recommend this. It is so worth everything, and I adore it. Then I recently sold my second copy of this. This one is autographed, so I kept this one. The other one I was just keeping to support the author, and I finally sold it because it was like, why do you have 2 identical copies of the same book? It doesn't make sense. So I did that. It was a very difficult day. This is Her Bodies and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. I just did a review on Carmen Maria Machado's second book, her nonfiction, In the Dream House. I'll link it up in the cards. This one is, again, on that feminist story kind of world. It opens with some of the best short stories I've ever read. One of my favorites, actually. It opens with the husband, Stitch. It... I love this book. I do. One of the other stories that I really love is her story that follows Law and Order SVU, and the way it works is the title of each episode is weaved into the sentence that comes next. So each sentence has a title of an episode in it. Oh, it's so good. It gets really sci-fi and twisted, and it is based on Law & Order SVU, so it gets weird. And it does have sexual-based offenses, because, of course, SVU. So, SVU? Yeah, that is right. Yeah, I absolutely adore this, and I would highly recommend it. It's beautiful. Absolutely amazing. This one, I'm not sure if you can class this a short story collection. I do, just because it felt like a short story collection to me, but because it was in the Man Booker Prize and won it, I don't know if it's a short story collection, but that's how I read it. So I think it depends. I've seen it shelved both ways. This is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Everstow. This is beautiful. This is amazing. Absolutely brilliant. I absolutely adore this. This is a short story collection made up of women. So you follow one story of a woman, and then the next story you follow a woman from the last story that you didn't follow in the first story, and then so on and so forth, and it continues. It's current, it's of the now, it's really present. It's going to be something that's going to follow me throughout my life. I don't know how it's going to translate 10 years from now, because there are some references that, unless you were part of this day and age, it may not make sense. But it's going to hold steady for at least 5 to 10 years, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's always going to have a place in my heart, and I'm always going to recommend and read this myself. This is going to stay on my shelf for the rest of my life. I'm sure of that. So I really loved it. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Super beautiful. Really worth reading. And then the last one, this was a surprise to me. This is You Know You Want This by Kristen Rupetan. This is Cat Person and it has the story Cat Person and Other Stories. So this one is messed up. It is really messed up. It's, how do I explain this? It's really weird. It has the story that went viral, which I believe was Cat Person. And I started the whole collection in the middle of the collection reading Cat Person, because I knew that was the big deal. And all the stories are like that. All of them are that dark and that twisted. Some are more so. Some are even more intense. The best way I can describe Cat Person is the story of a girl who goes on a date with a guy, and he seems decent, and things aren't exactly what they seem. It's a really good, insightful way to read about relationships current day and some of the behavior that men do that is not acceptable. I really liked it. I really loved it. I would highly recommend it. This book is absolutely incredible. I can't remember if it was from this year or last year. Yeah, it's 2019. Oh dear, that's a problem. I don't know how I'm going to do my top 10 this year. It's going to be insane. But yeah, this is absolutely brilliant. I absolutely adored it, and I would highly recommend it. So those are the top 5 short story collections that I have read. Yeah. I make videos every Tuesday and Thursday, so you guys should click that notification button down below and hit the little bell so that you are notified whenever I post a video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, please subscribe down in the subscribe button. I post on my blog every Wednesday and Friday. I would like to say thank you to my Patreons. I love you dearly, and thank you so much to my subscribers. You guys are amazing. I will talk to you all in my next video, and I'll see you there. Bye.